All right, let's dive into something truly incredible today. It's a project called GroundWork. And look, it's so much more than just an archive or some database. Its creators call it a living architecture, and that's the perfect way to put it. It's a platform designed to completely rebuild our understanding of history, literally from the ground up.
And this single line is actually inscribed on the project itself, and it just sets the tone for everything we're about to see. From the soil and those who worked it. It's this powerful reminder that history isn't some abstract thing. It's real. It's rooted in the very earth, holding all the memories of labor, of struggle, and of course, of creation.
So that really brings us to the core question that GroundWork was built to answer. What happens when a nation's foundation is built on untold stories? I mean, think about it. If the stories of the very people who laid the actual foundation are missing, well, the whole structure of that nation's history is just incomplete, right? GroundWork exists to fill in those huge, silent gaps.
Okay, so to even begin answering that, we have to start here, with this idea of history left undone. It's all about the mission to finally piece together a story that, for centuries, has only ever been told in bits and pieces.
You know, at its heart, the project's purpose is both simple and incredibly profound. Tell the whole truth. It's about restoration. It's about honoring everyone, from the famous names you might know to the unnamed ancestors whose contributions were just as critical. It's really about pulling every single one of those stories out of the shadows and into the light.
So, how in the world do you even start a project this massive? I mean, where do you begin? Well, that brings us to what they call the blueprint for truth. This is the set of core principles that guides literally every single thing they do.
Okay, so this is the official definition. GroundWork is a living platform to document every act of creation, resistance, and labor by Black Americans. But here's the part that's so important. It's that second half, and reveal how the world shifted because of it. You see, GroundWork doesn't just list an event. It traces the ripple effect. It shows you exactly how that one contribution changed, well, everything.
And this is all built on what they call the GroundWork mandate. It's got 5 parts. First up, comprehend everything. The idea that no contribution is too small to matter. Then, name everyone. A powerful promise to restore every single person to the historical record. Tell both sides, which means showing not just the act itself, but the impact it had. Feed the future, which acknowledges that this is a living thing. It's never really finished. And finally, the one that holds it all together, rooted in truth. Every single entry has to be backed up by verifiable proof.
So, to make sure every single entry lives up to that mandate, the creators came up with a really clear, consistent structure. Let's take a look at what they call the 5 pillars of truth. And this breakdown is just perfect. It shows you the blueprint for every single story they tell. It has to have these 5 things. Identity, who is this person? Context, where and when did this happen? Contribution, what did they actually do or create? Difference made, how did that act change the world? And this is the big one, source. Where can you find the proof? It's never just a name and a date, it's the whole story. And that last pillar, the source, is what gives this whole thing its rock-solid integrity.
Okay, now this is where the project gets, I think, truly unique. See, it doesn't just live online, on some server in the cloud. It actually exists in 2 places at once. This section is called Living in Data and Dirt, and you're about to see why.
So check this out. It's a project with 2 totally interconnected halves. On one side, you have the digital monument, this huge, always expanding database and interactive map. But on the other side, you have the physical platform, and this is something else. It's a real traveling foundation made of compacted soil from important Black historical sites all over the country. One is about information, the other is about reverence. It's literally where the data meets the dirt.
So let's talk about that digital experience for a second, because it's amazing. Picture this, you're on their interactive map. You just hover your mouse over a city, any city, and stories just bubble up. You can see who built the city, who fought for freedom on its streets, who created the art that gave that place its soul. Or maybe you want to explore through time. You can slide this timeline across the decades, even centuries, and just watch as this incredible story of discovery, of innovation, of resistance unfolds right in front of you.
And what's so powerful about this is that it's all about connection. The whole platform is built to draw these clear, visible lines from one generation to the next. You can actually trace how an ancestor's farming tool led to a modern scientific breakthrough, or how a spiritual song became the root of a whole genre of music we listen to today.
It connects the past to the present in a way I've never seen before.
Which, of course, brings us back to that physical platform, that foundation made of soil. This is the other half of that inscription we saw earlier. We stand where they were pressed down, we rise where they made the ground hold. It's an invitation, really. It's asking you to stand on that ground and feel the weight of that history, but also the incredible strength of the people who made it possible for future generations to rise.
But here's the thing you have to understand about this project. It is not just about looking backwards. Its entire philosophy is about building the future, which brings us to this next idea: a foundation for tomorrow.
So there are 4 living values that are like the engine keeping this whole thing moving forward. You've got restorative truth, which is all about fixing the official record. Then equality of memory, this idea that a sharecropper's innovation is just as important as a famous scientist's discovery. Collective stewardship, which means this history belongs to all of us and we all have a part to play. And finally, perpetual motion, the understanding that this work is never, ever done.
And just to be super clear, this foundation isn't just symbolic. It is built on a bedrock of hard evidence. The project pulls from super reliable, scholarly sources like the National Archives, blackpast.org, the Smithsonian, you name it. This isn't about telling nice stories. It's about anchoring every single entry in factual, verifiable history. This is maybe the most powerful idea in the whole project. It completely reframes how we think about this history. This is not a story of tragedy. It is architecture. The point is, this history isn't just about survival or endurance. It's about how Black Americans actively designed and built the world we live in today. It's a story of creation, of architecture.
And this quote just perfectly captures the soul of it all. Groundwork is where history breathes, where the soil meets the spirit, and the people who made the world are finally seen. It's that exact spot where data becomes something sacred, where the earth itself remembers, and where the architects of so much of our modern world finally get their moment in the sun.
So, in the end, the project leaves us with this powerful question. By fixing the very foundation of our history, by making it true, Groundwork isn't giving us an ending, it's giving us a brand new beginning. And it's asking every single one of us, now that we know what this ground is really made of, what are we going to build on it next?